My name is Michael Jureidini. I'm a businessman, married, father of 4 girls. For years, I had been monitoring. I had been doing my annual checks and noticed an increase one year, well, over 2 successive readings. My doctor then sent me to the urologist, referred me to a urologist, and he then put me on checks every 6 months. And they continue to, increase the readings, the PSA readings. And then he said, okay, fine. I think we're at the stage now where we're seeing increased readings over a period. Having found that reading, my urologist, who was very, very good and thorough, he gave me some options. Well, I should say myself and my wife were called in, and the options were discussed. And we said, okay, fine, we discuss it and come back to him. I have 4 daughters, 2 from a previous marriage, 2 in my current marriage. So I said, Winsome, we agreed that we wouldn't tell our girls. At the time, they were probably like 10 and 12, something like the age group, and they were just going through school and getting ready for what then was GSAT. And one was in high school. We said, no, we don't need to stress them. So we just told them, Daddy had an issue, we'd be going away for a little while. And thankfully, when you have great support in terms of family and friends, we had some amazing neighbors. I remember Winsome saying she went to bed the night, she went very quiet, and then I discovered later she was praying, Father, just tell me who is the best person to leave the kids with. Well, as it happened, we had some neighbors that had just moved in. And when I tell you, real, true Christian people, not in the words, definitely in terms of deeds. Ed and Carleen Riley and Winsome went and asked them, said, oh sure, send them to us, no problem. And the girls absolutely enjoyed it. But yeah, thankfully, grace of God, everything went fine. From there, my elder daughters told them, I said, hey, Daddy, wish you all the best. They were positive. My brother, my sisters, everybody was supportive in a different way. Some people talk a lot, some don't, but I said, listen, go ahead, you'll be fine. Well, initially, if it's going up, I figure, I didn't sort of, what's the word, belabor the whole issue. My point is, if it's there, it's there. In fact, I can tell you, we had planned a family vacation. And we said, when we came from the doctor's office, I said, listen, doc, when we went to the doctor's office and he gave us the word, I think it may have been somewhere April or May of 2010. I said, well, listen, we planned this vacation and we're going, as a family. So we went and we had a whale of a time. And when we came back, we had this meeting with him, told him that, okay, fine. He had given us the options as to what procedure we'd want to take and where they can be offered. Did our research, spoke to some friends, and we told him, fine, I'd want to do it whenever he could schedule it and I think between find out sometime in probably April or May. We put all the plans in place. As I said, went on vacation in July and I did the surgery in September. But there was no worry, we prayed and not much discussion after that. We just did what we had to do. Once I looked at and did some reading, I must say, a couple of folks, one gentleman I remember loaned me a book on prostate cancer and some of the issues. He did quite a bit of reading online and had a number of friends and associates, some close friends too, who had gone through it previously. So having spoken to them as to the different methods used, which hospitals they went to, do they do it locally or overseas, we came to the decision that I'd want to do it robot-aided prostatectomy, which is complete removal of the prostate. And thankfully at the time, I had insurance that could cover it, whether it be local or overseas, and opted to do it in Florida. After that was recovery. So again, we had some fabulous family friends from way back. Stayed with them when I was out there, well, in preparing for the surgery and just after. And I tell you, the support is just the most important thing. You say your prayers, leave it in the hands of the Father, and you have great friends and family. I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I omitted to say that when I discovered Winsome and I called two friends, both couples, and we went to visit them. And they were so warm and embracing. Harry and Anne-Marie Smith and Carlisle and Dan Hudson. They both had us over for one for brunch, one for dinner. And we just chatted as two couples, you know, as to the experience. Because as I said, the support is very important. And the more you know, the better you're prepared. And those two couples were just fabulous. I'll always be thankful for them also. 2010, I would have been 56. 56, yeah. Listen, 10 years post, I figure the first couple of years, you're a bit unsure as to, I'm trying to think back because I'm really not somebody to look back a lot, honestly. And one should at times, but I focus on let's go forward. But thinking back then, I said, okay, fine, let's take it a day at a time. But that's the first thing in terms of the recovery. I was amazed. We went in, had the surgery the morning. I think I was first into the theater, probably about 7. Was conscious by about midday. And by 2 o'clock, they had me walking up and, you know, walking in there. Yeah, with the help of my wife a little, because, you know, there's still some of the anesthetic in your body. You're walking and then overnight and left next day. Discharged the next day. And again, another friend, I was down in South Florida. I mean, way south. And another friend drove from Orlando and said, "Listen, man, come with me," and took me to his home for about 3 days. It took us both. So Kurt did that. So we just kick back and relax. Yeah, you have the catheter, which is a little uncomfortable. But it's more uncomfortable, not because of any pain, just uncomfortable because you're not used to having that. And you make the adjustment over time. And things like the first time you're conscious of you peeing and that sort of thing, and it's going into a tube, into a bag on your leg. But after I just again, I'd measure it against having the cancer in my body. It's out now, so hopefully everything was gone. That's it. Well, the first thing, I start telling everybody, get checked. Even when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I did not realize, I was so aware of the levels that it occurs in Jamaica. Of course, Afro-Americans high, but Jamaican is like really off the charts. We have a very high incidence of prostate cancer in Jamaica. So my first thing is, brethren, get checked. I'm an evangelist. I see anybody, the security guard in the bank, I don't care how old you are. If a young man start talking, I say, boy, I saw you, I heard you say something about prostate cancer. My uncle had it, or my grandfather had it, or my father had it. I said, those. Once you get to age 40, start checking it. You know, start checking it. So that I'd probably talk about a bit more than what I would in terms of talking about football or business or something else. That one is a lead off in a conversation. Because, and a lot of people don't realize, you only have one mechanism or physical mechanism to control your urine. I do not drink liquid much, especially after 6. And so that's a lifestyle change. You reduce it. Or when you drink a lot of whatever you're drinking in the daytime before it gets to 6. Was never a heavy drinker, but alcohol, because that relaxes you and the muscles, I cut that. And you just watch what you eat, you watch your mental state, your spiritual state, you just try to go for a lot more balance in your life. That's it. As I say, I did not realize too that it seems to trend in families, So when I found out, I went back, I found out an uncle who had prostate cancer. I remember that, but until I had it, I never made the connection. And his son too. But you become a lot more aware. And as I said, I will not stop until I tell people get screened. To the extent where recently a group of us from our men's group at church, at Webster United Church, at which I'm a member, we are members, we had a Men of Purpose, that's the name of the men's group, had a function in June last year, and coming out of it, we decided to form a group called Brothers United Against Prostate Cancer, where we're definitely going to just try and do everything to raise the level of awareness and get men to get screened. I can't overemphasize the need for the men to get screened. I implore the women, carry your father, carry your brother, carry your cousin, carry your uncle, carry your boyfriend, did I say husband? Take them and get them screened.